Hi, I'm Hiba. Welcome to my blog. Today I will be discussing how evaluation question 1, which is in what ways does your media product use, develop, challenge forms of conventions of real media products. So the first product that I'll be looking at is our trailer. The first convention that we decided to stick to was the use of multiple audio tracks and music tracks. This can be seen in movies such as Carrie and Ouija the Origin of Evil. What these trailers do is they either begin with a subtle instrumental piece of music that sets a calm tone, or they use it somewhere else, and then they'll put in a suspenseful piece of music, which is when action starts to build up. This gets the audience's hearts racing and they kind of go up and down with the music. We used this for our trailer because we believed it would really help, and when we received feedback from the audience, our target audience, they also felt that this was one of our really strong topics in the trailer because it brought the mood forward to the foreground. They also use multiple audio tracks like shattering screams, any sort of pops of music. We also did this with the glass breaking, we had screams, and we have a lot of voiceovers, as we realised a common element seen in modern day trailers is the continuation of audio through multiple visuals. So we wouldn't what's seen in films, trailers such as The Forest, is conversations continued through different visuals. So a conversation may start in one shot, such as the shot that's shown where they're sitting at the table, and continue through other shots as they talk. So we use this as we felt it just helped the trailer flow, and it really links to modern day trailers. Another convention that we decided to stick to was the use of a monstrous feminine. So this can be seen in movies like Carrie and Ouija Origin of Evil. They use female villains in their pieces to create fright, as females are supposed to be seen as pure and innocent, and the fact that they can be villains creates fear among the audiences. This resonated well with our audience, who are around 15 to 25, as they are used to seeing modern day horror films, so they linked this idea very well. We used other elements seen in trailers, such as jump scares at the end. A lot of trailers do this to capture the audience, so they'll have the credits and then they'll use a jump scare. We did this because we thought it would bring fright to the audience and make them question what will happen next in the movie. A convention that we chose not to use is the false jump scare. This can be seen in trailers such as Ouija Origin of Evil. We decided not to use this because we felt that these false jump scares ruin later jump scares, as audience will be predicting them. So we just didn't add this into our trailer. There's no moment of a suspense building up and then no impact. Instead, we have two real jump scares, one after the other. This is not really commonly seen in trailers, as though they do have jump scares at the end. They don't have two, one after another. We thought this would be really good because it makes the audience think there's not another one coming. They think that's the end of the trailer because we've already frightened them. And when we got feedback from the audience who had watched it and just watching the audience watching it, they were more scared at the end because they were not predicting another jump scare. So this worked really effectively for us. A convention that we did stick to is a female lead. This can be seen in films such as The Forest. We decided to use female lead because of the idea of the last girl, although we don't stick to the theory as such because our last girl is actually the villain, the monster. So it's subverting that theory but also sort of suggesting that it's real in the trailer. Another convention that we chose to not use and subvert was the use of male gaze, which is Laura Mulvey's theory. This can be seen in many trailers such as Carrie, in the bathroom scene where she's washing herself. We decided not to use this because we wanted our film to show females as being strong and independent. All of our characters seen in the trailer are female and they are alone in house and protecting themselves. We have a lot of shots of the actress Admal, who plays Brooke, holding a knife and running, and we wanted to show that the female doesn't have to be shown in a sexual manner for her to be strong, and she doesn't have to be weak, she doesn't have to be reduced to that. So that's something we subverted from. The next thing I'll be discussing is the poster and how it develops, conforms, or subverts or challenges things seen in normal horror movie posters. So the first poster that I researched was the Final Destination poster. I really like this poster. It used a shattering effect, quite similar to the one we used, but it uses it only for half of its poster. It doesn't have any small credits or logos at the bottom. It's very simplistic and focuses mainly on its picture. This can be seen in a lot of horror movie posters where there's just one simple image and just a title, or just the writing coming soon and the title in very small. In some ways, we developed this idea of the glass shattering, and we used all of our characters on the poster, and yeah, I think this was effective because it showed all of the characters, introduced the audience to them, and makes them question who are these people, what are they going through, why are they in this image like this. So we developed that idea. But in terms of the simplicity of the poster, I don't think ours is as simple because we do have a lot of text. We have a very busy image, and so in that way it subverts from that idea of having a very simple poster. The next poster that I looked at was Mirrors. This has a lot of text at the bottom, and again a very, very, very kind of simple image that uses more negative space than it does space in general. This one doesn't really have a tagline. It goes for "from the makers of ... We chose to add a tagline to ours. A lot of horror films do have taglines, such as The Babadook, which has a rhyming sort of tagline, and we thought this would draw people in. Our tagline is "It's in her reflection." But I really like the idea of having a red text and having a lot of kind of credits at the bottom. I think that makes it look a lot more like a poster. We did in fact end up using our red sign, which you can see in the Mirrors poster. It although it's not the BBFC 15, which we also have, if our poster was to be a worldwide poster, it would need that to conform to the audiences in America. So that's another convention that we stuck to. But in terms of the simple image, again, we didn't stick to that convention because I think we wanted to go for something a bit more striking, and I think that paid off. The last poster that I researched was It Follows. This goes for a completely different look than what we ended up going for. But what I really liked is the image. It showed a mirror, a girl looking in a mirror. It's very simple, it's very retro. It goes for a very old horror film aesthetic, which we didn't really use in the end. I think this poster it subverts from a lot of modern day posters, so we chose not to go completely all the way to subvert completely from all the trends that are seen, but we really did like the concept of this, and again the red text, that's something that's seen in a lot of horror movie posters. So to sum it up, I think we conformed to the idea of having an image that's striking, but we went for less simplicity and more of a wow factor, as you can see in our poster, which is very almost in your face, but I think it works well to draw people in. We used that red text that's seen in lots of horror movie posters, and we also used a lot of text at the bottom of our poster. We didn't keep it too simple. So we subverted some things, developed the idea of the shattering glass, and conformed to some stuff as well. The last thing I'm going to be talking about is the magazine and how it does or does not conform to those ideas of a normal horror movie magazine. So I researched, I believe, 4 magazines, which were Scream, Rue Morgue, Fangoria, and Empire. So the one that we ended up going for is Empire. Empire's not very known for having horror movies on their front covers, but it is one of the largest movie magazines out there. It was released in 1989, give or take, and this means that it has a very large audience, and when thinking about marketing, that was important to think about who it was going out to. So we knew that moviegoers would pick up Empire, whereas the other magazines were more online magazines. Fangoria is online, and Rumour, when you can have a physical copy, but most of its issues are online only. So in terms of conventions that we stuck to having the movie title very large, which is seen in Empire magazine. I'm going to just be discussing Empire magazine because that's one house style that we went for. So yeah, in terms of sticking to conventions, we stuck to the idea of having the title of the movie very large in a text that's not from the movie poster. So a movie generally has a font that it sticks to throughout its poster and trailer and actual film, in terms of the title. So we had this blurred smudged text that we created ourselves, but we chose not to use this on our actual magazine. This is a convention seen in Empire's house style a lot. It will not have the text used for the actual film. Instead, it will have a block text that will stand out over everything else. We also stuck to having one image. In magazines like Scream, they go for having lots and lots of images, but in Empire's house style, they have one simple image, and it might have some sort of thing to draw it in, like in the Silence of the Lamb edition, there is the mask on the face. In ours, we have the cracks on the face, but we decided to just use a simple image. Another something that we subverted from was the use of darkness or colour as altogether. We have a very white background, and in horror movie magazines it's usually a black background, excluding the Babadook cover. Empire usually doesn't do horror, as I said before, but in the other covers they don't have a straightforward white background. They have something happening in the background where there's action, lighting, or it's just dark with some sort of blue or red light. We just went for complete white. This subverts from Empire's house style, but we thought it would be more effective as it really makes the image stick out a lot more and the text just comes forward a lot more. Something we also did was have multiple text. Although Empire does do this, they don't do it to the extent that we did. We chose to have a block text and then elegant sort of looking text. Empire doesn't really go for this style. They normally just use block text, so we subverted from that idea, as we thought that the block text should be the larger, more important information, and the smaller text should just be like the lists and any minor information. I think that worked in the long run because it shows the audience what the main information is and what grabs at them. Overall, I think that we developed, challenged and conformed to a lot of different media text seen in the real world. But in terms of development, I think we definitely made our products our own. Nothing that we created is 100% like what's out there, because we wanted to be different and bring something new to the genre. In terms of our trailer, it's shot quite differently. We have 2 jump scares, which is not commonly seen. In terms of our poster, it's a lot more busy and striking than most horror movie posters. In terms of our magazine, it's a lot more lighter and simplistic compared to Empire's house style. And I think this shows that our products are different, but then they are also conforming to ideas of iconography, such as the knife used and the colours in terms of red text. So I think it's important that we have a bit of both, because if we didn't have anything that linked to the genre, the audience wouldn't be able to tell what genre of film it would be, and if we did everything the same, it would be nothing new and the audience would not want to go and watch the film.